What is up? How's it going, gentlemen?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm about to drink this lovely coffee that's been sitting, brewing for the last 10 minutes.
Jet fuel.
Yes, yes. It is a coffee from Great Heights. Joe Coffee, it's called. It's actually pretty good. It's from Brazil.
Joke.
Oh,
Ooh,
cool.
exotic.
Yeah.
Exotic.
Exotic. Quite
Exotic.
delicious.
And Riley,
I,
I've missed your beautiful face. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Yeah.
I don't know how the word beautiful got in there, but okay.
Well,
I guess matter of opinion, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? So I am doing some Stumptown coffee roasters, Indonesia, single
Ooh.
origin. And it has this really awesome graphic on the back that shows like a lot of their sort of history and where they get the flavors and everything. And it's all single origin. It's all certified for the highest standards of social and environmental impact. So, I could have paid like $8 or something for a bag this size, but I paid twice that for this because it seemed like it was really good. It smelled good. It looks like it comes from the Indonesian, fields, roasted in Oregon. Smells delicious. It's got like hints of like chocolate and it's delicious.
Yeah, mine. So that's cool. Where did you get it? How did you pick that up? Where did you find it?
I was just at my local grocery store, Rayleigh's. They have they opened up a new store. They expanded big time, and so the coffee section went from like a little, small marquee to like this whole section of an aisle. And so instead of just like the Pete's and Starbucks and their brands and things, they had a ton of other stuff in there. So it was nice.
Oh, cool. Yeah, this is the one that I got. This one here. Great Heights. It's that coffee trade thing I belong to. It sends you coffee like every 2 weeks.
Nice.
It's delicious.
is that the? Are you doing Misto box? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, it's called Trade. It's
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing. You kind of like go in and it has like some kind of program that you put in what you like and how you make it and blah blah blah, and it comes up with what it thinks would be a good match for you.
Nice.
For that coffee. So far they've been pretty good. And then if you keep going on and rating, like you can go on the website and rate the last one you got, and I'm sure the algorithm sort of like looks at that and says, okay, he didn't like this one, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's quite delicious.
I had my coffee a lot earlier, but I had some Peerless brand. That's I think they roast in Oakland. Had a dark roast. It was very nice.
Nice.
At the moment, sipping on some rooibos tea, which is a South African tree bark full of antioxidants.
Sounds delicious.
Speaking, I don't know if it really counts because it's like probably full of sugar and comes in a can and you get it at convenience stores. But those yerba mate tea drinks, those things are, I don't know what it is. Some days I'm like obsessed with those things. Like, they're good, but
they're good.
They don't have as much caffeine as something else in them, though.
Right.
They're just sweet, so it's kind of like refreshing more than anything. But
there's this one brand that is like unsweetened. I use rooibos tea in my aquariums. Oh, nice. It's your fish. Thank you. It's delicious. But yeah, no, there's this one brand of yerba that is unsweetened and it's just super concentrated yerba mate, and it's like 85 milligrams of caffeine per bottle. Woo! That thing used to jack me up, but it's like it's that shot of caffeine without the acidity of coffee that can kind of like rot your insides out, so there's some perks to that.
Good Lord.
Beetle.
What? Did you just sneeze that out?
A beetle. No. Yeah. I sneezed. Thank God. It's been clogging up my nose for like forever here.
It's probably a mealworm or something that got out and pupated behind a cage.
Here we go. Here's something that I have to ask you coffee nerds about, and then we'll get into some reptile talk. But coffee over sweet cream butter. So this is like, isn't there a name for that? Like oh shit. Joe Rogan used to do it all the time, didn't he?
I know that people put ghee in their coffee. That like clarified butter.
I can't remember what the kind of it's wait a minute. Joe.
It's probably very good, but my initial reaction is meh. I don't want to drink butter.
I don't really like butter, so I'm not a butter fan. Joe Rogan coffee.
I need a bang. 300 milligrams.
I don't know. It's
Straight to the heart.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Black
I just
rice
tried
on that.
Googling it. So.
I had a coworker at a guitar shop I worked at in Santa Cruz that would drink the coffee with butter, and he said that it was like I guess drinking butter is supposed to be good for your brain because you have all this saturated fat in your brain or something like that. But I don't know. That dude, if that's true, it wasn't quite working for him. So I don't know.
Hopefully you don't listen, but yeah, sure.
No, there's no way. And I love him. He'd admit it too. But,
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I can't remember caveman coffee. Was that it? Caveman coffee? No, maybe not. I can't remember. Anyway, he hasn't talked about it in a long time, but anyway. It's delicious.
Sounds worth trying at the very least. I haven't really found a coffee I don't like other than like McDonald's coffee.
Yeah.
When you're in Texas, do not go to the gas stations because they have horrible coffee.
Most gas stations are pretty bad. As
Bulletproof.
somebody that
Thank you, Ryan Cox. Bulletproof coffee. Yes, that's it. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as somebody that has frequented almost a gas station in every state, they're all bad.
Yeah.
It's just too sweet or cheap diluted stuff usually.
It tastes burnt.
It's kind of like
Or,
putting
yeah.
cream in your coffee without the milk taste. Makes your coffee smooth too. It's buttered coffee that Rogan uses some mushroom stuff. Yeah, okay.
There we
Of
go.
course. All right. So now that we got coffee out of the way,
Yeah.
what's going on? We should start with you, Riley, because
We should.
You've been away for a couple weeks. So what's going on, man? What have you been up to?
I've been finding my younger inner reptile self.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's been good, actually. I mean, the nice thing is like work is never slow. So, and that's always just reptiles and then dealing with people. The problem is sometimes the dealing with people stuff is too much.
Yeah.
40 hours a week of it can be a lot. And then the social media add-on, if I'm too plugged in, kind of got me carried away. And so I pulled away from everything and just focus on cleaning tubs, cleaning cages, like looking at animals, taking animals out if they're cruising around, or just, I don't know.
Nice.
You know, the baby Crebos are kind of a handful in themselves. They're weird about feeding. So they're keeping me busy.
Are they delicate?
Well, I don't know if I'd say like they're delicate, like you could hurt them, but like they are kind of small.
Yeah.
And with their fast metabolism, one of the males is already showing like he needs to eat soon. He's taken a couple minnows. They've all taken at least a few minnows. And yesterday, the female took like a little chunk of tilapia off tongs, which is good. But
Sweet.
there's no consistency yet. They're only like 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old, maybe. So I don't know. I got to force the issue a little bit because they burn through their caloric intake really fast.
Right.
And with how warm it's been in this room, I'm just running them at ambient. They're like going through their fat stores pretty quickly. And I don't know. They didn't eat any of the minnows I got on the other day, but they ate some a few days before. And I don't know. We'll see. So
I love the way that you set those up with like the little mini glass terrariums. Was that like a deliberate thing, or did you just not have any other options? Because it looks
No,
great.
that was one of the options I contemplated. When they first hatched out, I put them in little tubs that I raised like my Antaresia in, and I contemplated just leaving them in there. And if they don't get going on food, I might put them back in there. They're just such inquisitive and active creatures that I don't know. I just felt like even as babies, they would do really well being set up with like moss and highs and stuff. The biggest challenge is like piquing their interest on food right now. I might switch their water bowls from a hard ceramic bowl to like a clear 16-ounce deli cup. So that there's more visibility, like from more angles of any fish or moving objects that might be in there, and see if that helps. Yeah, so we'll see. So I just want to keep them ambient. There's a lot of warmth, so they don't need any hot spots right now. It's probably too warm for them anyway.
Yeah.
So
it seems like when you have a python, you could go weeks to a month to even a couple months. I mean, I've gone 4 months without feeding a baby python because they wouldn't eat. But I would think with a colubrid, that's something that you'd have to be in a different mindset. Am I wrong in thinking that you kind of have to get them going pretty quick? Yeah.
I mean, they are maybe a month old, maybe, and I can already see like skin fold on the male from like not eating much.
Right.
So it's like really fast.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
We'll see.
That's cool.
I don't know if that's because they're like kind of renty from all the challenging hatchling variables, or if it's just part of the nature of their species. We'll see next year. The female, I'm already like really packing food onto her. She's really big right now, so
okay.
I just got to keep that momentum up going into the winter, and hopefully next season I'll get a bigger, better, healthier clutch, larger sample size, incubate a little bit differently, and then get a better feel for it.
Yeah, I got to be honest, man. I'm impressed that female even went, because she had that crazy situation with that male. That's the same female, right? Yeah, that's quite impressive that she got, lay. I mean, even though you only got three of them, it's still like,
the fact that she was able to bounce back for sure. That it's very impressive.
Oh, I mean, like 48 hours after the incident, I had her in like a convalescent cage in the living room, worried I was going to wake up every morning to her dead in the cage, and she was like out hunting around, like looking for food with like blood coming out of her head and like a huge gash in her face. I was like, what the
I remember seeing the pictures. Yeah, it was no minor scrape. That was definitely a gash.
Yeah.
Every so often I'm like flipping through photos on my phone, and I like pass by it and I stop. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't know, man. It's obviously these animals are super resilient. We kind of see that with the volume of animals we deal with just in their day-to-day lives, but that was a pretty extreme example. I think just keeping her clean and fed, and the fact that, he missed her eyeballs entirely, and that there was no internal damage to the brain, and like, Rachel stepping in and keeping him from eating her, and then me running straight from work over. I mean, just like anything different, it would have been very different. So
I forgot that part. That's right. You weren't even there at the time, huh?
Yeah, I was at work.
That's wild.
Yeah. Like, I remember the messages coming. I was like, oh man, and like, I guess I just give up quick, and I don't know, maybe that's your zookeeper, and you're like making sure, knowing that these things are going to happen, and then, getting the animal over the hump. So, I mean, impressive that she did it, and then impressive that you were able to, get her to be able to do it. That's pretty good.
I don't know, man. I think her species is super, they give you a lot of good feedback behaviorally. So if you're paying attention to them, you can see what they're doing and what they're thinking, what they're feeling pretty obviously. They're a very expressive animal. So
you mean like student of the serpent?
Yep.
What kind of snake? Oh,
It's the black-tailed crebos.
oh yeah, I don't even know if we said that. We were just talking like, yeah, very cool,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so we'll get another shot at them this season, and yeah, she's already like bigger than she was last year. So
Nice.
Sweet.
I kind of have the timing down a little bit better. I know their body language that much better. So I think next season or this season, I won't make the same mistakes. So
I kind of feel that way with the diamond pythons as well. Like I kind of felt like with the diamonds this year, I was kind of like secretly hoping that they didn't produce a clutch in a way, because I didn't want to sort of deal with the feeding trials and whatnot. But I don't know. It's to your point. It's sort of, I think sometimes you gotta have to, make these mistakes to learn so that you can figure out like what it is that they actually need to get them to produce.
yeah, I mean, isolating variables that you can pretty safely assume didn't work is still good information in failure. So
yeah, 100%. We did basically tropical indigos.
yeah,
I guess.
Mhm.
And guess what? Lucas described the the Australian indigo.
There's
the
some
blackhead.
parallels. There's some parallels for sure. I love the dry marcon stuff right now. Every time I have a break at East Bay, I'm like taking out the Eastern indigos and just having so much fun watching them
cool.
be smart.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, they're fun.
I can't right now, but someday.
They're other than the space allotment for them, just run them ambient.
Yeah, exactly.
You spend $0 on electricity for them.
A lot of people like to talk about their nuclear waste, but I have falsies, so I'm already in that camp. It's all good.
It's not any worse than that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what about you, Lucas? What's up? What's new?
Well, let's see. Got that baby rack in yesterday, which is excellent because it right in the nick of time. I should have some Brettles pipping in the next week or two from the first clutch.
Nice.
I think I have day 56 will be Tuesday. So getting there. For the first MI clutch. Up there. It's so hard. Yeah. So it's been interesting. That's the snake that was coming off the eggs pretty frequently to wrap the ceramic bulb. But I've noticed ever since about day 45, 46, she hasn't left once. So I've definitely taken note of that. Like maybe she knows it's kind of home stretch here and she is not leaving them. Striding it out, which is super interesting. But I can't wait, man. I'm looking in there all the time now, just waiting to see that first little head. And then the ones in the incubator are a few weeks behind. I did lose some eggs that I determined to be fully shelled infertiles that just, finally started breaking down, rotting. Once I had lost a couple of them, I got curious. I was like, well, what's going on here? Did I mess up? Did the power outage do something? So I cut open all the bad ones and I candled everything. And it actually became really clear. Like the good eggs, I can very easily see the vasculature and the veins and little embryos, growing in the bottom. And the ones that are molding just were nothing but yellow goop. So yeah, I if I had checked from the beginning, it would have made a lot more sense, but live and learn. And yeah, so I think I've lost 5 or 6 eggs in one of the hypo het stripe clutches that's in the artificial incubator, and 2 eggs in the double hets maternal clutch. So just, part of my season, a lot of good eggs still going that I'm expecting to hatch. Cool. But yeah, it's interesting to now going forward, learning from that. I'm definitely going to try to, candle everything a little bit earlier on because it's kind of nasty when they start to mold like that. And
yeah,
it's trickier to remove them. So,
although I have hatched out carpets out of some pretty gnarly eggs, man.
Right. These ones, when I cut them open, it's like it's not even liquid anymore.
Yeah,
it's like
it's-
curdled white goop. Like there was no growth at any point.
Right.
But
Cool.
yeah, I'm definitely not gonna touch like the surrounding eggs or anything like that. But yeah, baby rat came. That's awesome. 45 tubs from sea serpents, and it has wheels, which is it's blowing my mind. Life changer. I can move it around, and that makes me very happy. And other than that, just everything's plugging along. I'm gonna offer that blackhead hatchling another drop-fed pre-killed mouse tonight. See if I can get 2 for 2 on meals since it started eating on its own, but nothing other than that, which is good. Sometimes no news is good news because everything's alive and healthy.
That's good. Yeah, me, I just got the only thing that going on with me is I just got another book. The Lizards of Western Australia, Volume 1, Skinks.
Nice.
So
blackhead food.
Yeah. Yeah, really. They're basically the blue tongue skink version of imbricata, right? I mean,
yeah,
sure.
I was reading this earlier today.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I like
it.
It's a great book.
Yeah,
it's a great book.
Awesome.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I did get a pair of Nova Guineas.
Ooh.
Ah, yes. You've come to the dark side.
Yeah, I don't know what took me so long.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think I said something like, if you're a true carpet python nerd, they're in your collection or they're on your wish list. Like the immediate wish list.
You said that it's how you gauge a true Morelia lover. You either have them or you want them.
Yeah. And it's crazy. I think I sent you that picture of there was a over on iNaturalist, there was a picture of a popwin carpet, I guess that's what we'll call it, that looks a lot like what a Nova Guinea would look like. Very interesting that it would be found on the other side of the island, which in theory we have no animals from. And the Nova Guineas don't really... They're from somewhere in Papua New Guinea. Who knows where from? So I don't know.
They are not Harrisoni.
No, 100%.
Not at all. They're not Harrisoni at all. I know morphology doesn't typically have a lot of bearing on differentiation, even at like the subspecies level, but these things are different. They look different. So the first thing that I noticed is, like, I picked one up and I pinned it behind the head and I just flipped it over. And the first thing I noticed was that from an overhead view, its nose was longer and blockier, like not quite as round like a ball python, but a little more angular like an Angolan python. And then when you flip it over, it was much more pronounced. And it's because the bottom jaw kind of still had the normal taper, but the supralabial pits and all of those on the top end just made for a bulkier, rounded snout. And then that coupled with like the eye position and the scalation around the eyes, they're a different animal, man. Completely different animal. They don't look like any single baby carpet python I've ever seen, just in the head structure alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, I grabbed a nice pair that are like ocelot jag looking. So
yeah, they're super pretty, man. That's awesome.
So we'll see. They're literally like first shed through. One's had a few meals, the other has had none, just because picked them straight up from Travis, like just drove them home,
Nice.
So
I'm glad to see somebody besides Nick and Eric making them. They've been, and Billy Hunt is another person that has produced them. But
yeah, so there's a good core group of folks that have them, and then their customers that have bought those animals have them. I think there's some people that'll be coming up and producing them, but Nick's got his younger animals that he's produced, and he's entrusted a couple of his adults to Travis on some breeding loan deals, and Travis has been successful, and it's just really neat to see that Nick's able to keep going with the future lines, but that his original stuff is still being cared for in the right way. And that those animals aren't going to disappear from our hobby with folks like Nick, Travis, Billy. I'm sure Eric Kohler probably works with some. You have some. Yep. Now I have some. Yeah. There's a growing army of people with them. And so I think very much in the same way as Inlands, I think they're finally getting the just overdue love they deserve. Speaking of which, I'm working on selling some babies so I can get an Inland. So if anybody here is listening and needs himself a carpet, hit me up.
There you go.
But I love the Inlands, man.
I need Inlands and Diamonds, and those are the only two things left on my list that we can get in the States currently. So
yeah.
Unless we finally decide Cape Yorks are their own thing, then I guess I'll have to get those.
I guess currently Cape Yorks are considered coastals, right? I guess that's how I take them. They're cool too, man. They're definitely very different pattern wise. And I should say, finding that one snake on iNaturalist doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know what I mean? It's the sample size of one, but it's just odd that it just looks like, it seems like the animals that we all have in the hobby seem to have for somewhat similar look, for the most part. I mean, there is variety for sure, but they're pretty consistent with the brown and the tans and the yellows and the reds. I guess it would be red brick. I don't know.
Sure.
Speaking of Inlands, holy hell, man. Have you seen what Darren Whitaker has been posting up with the silver peppers?
I haven't.
No? Oh. No. Well, let me share.
Please.
So hold on, like this.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. That's
what
like
the hell?
But that thing, it's a beautiful animal. I'm just going to start with that. It's just got like a bunch of other stuff in it. It's got Darwin in it.
This one.
Was that the one that's like the head albino head?
I think it might be. Hold on, let me see.
They're freaking crazy. They're like mad scientists over there making some of the most beautiful stuff.
It is. It's pos head albino. And then, but
I don't like it anymore. No.
This is pure coastal. And I mean,
I can like it and not want to have it.
Well said.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful animal, and there is a place for it.
Yeah.
Holy hell, man. That's a pure coastal.
That's nice.
That just makes you dizzy.
Yeah. Or hungry.
Yeah.
Both.
And then let's see, what else did he have that was pretty cool? This one was a albino pepper, which I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but I like albinos. But I seem to think that I don't know. Albinos
I think it'll look better as an adult.
Yeah.
Looks like an albino berm.
Yeah, right?
Albino's never done it for me. Even when I was just getting into the stuff and I didn't really know much about morphs, I was always just kind of like, man, it looks fleshy.
This is a pos head albino too, but man, look at that stripe.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
This like looks like Aboriginal art to me. All those like dots and yeah,
it's a beautiful animal. It's just a stunning snake.
Yeah.
Let it shed.
Okay, Mr. McIntyre. Yeah. and then there was an Axanthic one that he produced, which I don't know. I guess it's cool. It kind of lost the pepper thing to it, though.
Yeah,
it almost looks
too much coastal influence.
Yeah,
that looks like an Axanthic stonewashed.
Yeah, almost kind of.
The neck has got that. Yeah.
Cool stuff. I mean, I know he's been working on that project since the book came out, the first book, and now like to see like all these combos that he's producing, he's killing it, man. So, and then there was this caramel pepper. But you're right, man. They are mad scientists down there in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what else are you gonna do? You've probably burned through everything you can pure wise with a limited bloodline, so you just start having fun other ways.
I think
pretty wild.
I wonder if it's because they look at carpet pythons maybe in a different way, like
how we do corn snakes.
Yeah, kind of like they're all kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like
Well, maybe it's
they
different
don't appreciate the.
if they want to see the wild type, they'll just go see it in the wild. So why not be crazy at home?
Could be, yeah.
Fair.
And then I mean, it's not as cool as the citrus tiger albino, but I don't know if you saw Paul Harris.
I did see this, and it's very reminiscent. I instantly saw similarities.
Fleshy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not to poop in anybody's Cheerios, but it just looks like an earthworm.
Pooping in the Cheerios. Pooping in the Cheerios.
That's just me. It's just me.
I don't know what y'all do on your lunch breaks over there at East Bay, but
wow. There's poop a lot of places, but there's no Cheerios on the premises.
Yeah, that's good.
I hope that if somehow, some way that silver peppers ever make it to the U.S., I hope that it's like pure inland stuff. Silver peppers. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like straight up pure. Like
yeah, 100%.
We can do our own crossing. Just send us the pure stuff.
I would love another 1.1 just normal inlands, maybe get some Maug stuff to go with what I have. I would love to do that. That would be cool.
Man, hopefully my female goes this year. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I would love to produce them. Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
With that really freaking awesome male I got that has all that red,
For sure. Yeah.
I wonder how many holdbacks Darren has. Like
to have a project like that.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it seems like he's basing his project off the silver pepper and throwing it at everything to see what he can create. So he's probably got to have different avenues, which means multiple holdbacks for each avenue.
Right. Yeah.
It's probably
that's a lot.
Yeah, probably a couple dozen a season.
Yeah. Holy shit. But my inland clutch. Oh, Ian.
Tough feeders, huh?
Feed them skates.
Well, and then there's the old trip of just send them on a plane flight and they start feeding. I had a Papuan in 2019 that wouldn't eat for its life. I send it to Justin Smith, and that stubborn bastard literally feeds it the day it arrives, and it takes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Send it on a plane flight to years and it'll resolve itself apparently.
Well, and who knows, Riley? I mean, just the hour and a half drive from Sacramento to Oakland might have helped my particular blackhead get going, because one feeding later from that he took on his own.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I've done that many a times with Owen, and it's worked the opposite way as well, to where I had him going and he had that one
that tiger jag
that he had to feed fish to get him going. So. All right, whatever. We learned that carpets eat fish. Good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm excited about adding Kimberly Rock monitors.
Dude, yeah, I was so jealous. I finally got to see one, and now I'm even more jealous because my coworker has one at East Bay, and she just she whips it out on breaks, and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, they're cool, man. Very, very cool. I like them a lot. Do you guys have them at the shop, Riley, or do you just have the?
No, we just have water monitors, sail fins, lace monitors, and we've got 4 Solomon Island spiny neck monitors. They suck.
Really?
Yes.
What about these Pilbarensis? Holy shit, man! That's like
Those
a
are rad.
Centralian Kimberly Rock
Now
monitor.
we're talking. Look at that.
Yeah.
Do we have those here?
Yeah, that's for sale on Fauna right now.
You're kidding.
No, I swear to God.
Lucas is gonna dip out for a moment. Everyone, pardon the silence.
Oh, you're telling me there's a Brettles monitor?
That's it, man.
Good
Now,
God.
now, Rob says they're a little secretive, more so than the Kims. But
yeah, they're the type of monitors that when guys go hunting for them, they're looking in the slats and barks of trees and like really hard to get places. Just they're tough.
So, Eric, with your 3, they're pretty damn small, right? They're fresh out of the egg. How are you going to be setting those up?
I think I'm probably going to take Mike's approach. Speaking of which, he'll be on live stream tomorrow in the afternoon. We're going to be talking Acanthurus and Kimberly Rocks specifically. But his setup is, it seems like he has like maybe a tall Exoterra.
Okay.
And it just has like a cork bark and some leaf cover. And that's about it, looks pretty straight ahead. Of course, I want the Kimberly in my cage. I really want to try to deck it out and really go. I was showing Riley some videos of Cam's Custom Backgrounds. He's a guy in Australia, and he does these amazing backgrounds. And dude, he did this diamond python enclosure.
Beautiful.
Dude, trust me when I tell you, as soon as this is over, you're done watching or whatever, go over, find Cam's Custom Backgrounds, and look up his I think it was his latest video on diamond pythons. And when he puts that diamond python in there and it's like wrapped around the tree and it's just like, it's like in that S position, ready to go. You're like, what the hell? Holy God, it's cool, man.
Yeah, there's something about doing a really good functional background, throwing some sort of just biological touches, leaf litter, fake plants, live plants, whatever, and then lighting it a certain way that just makes any enclosure just seem very inviting. And Cam is very gifted at that.
Yeah, unbelievable. And sometimes I'm watching it, and it's interesting how much of an art it is, in my opinion, right? Because you're sort of watching it, and I don't know what it is. I just find it quite relaxing. Like just they sort of do like that double speed where they're just like chipping away, and then all of a sudden it just becomes this work of art, and you're like, I don't know if I really see the vision. And then by the end you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's really incredible. I wish I could pull up a picture of it. I should have took a picture of it, but it's really cool. Really, really cool. He has like basically like these rock ledges, and then this big like branch that kind of goes up the middle. And dude, it's really cool. And it has like these different, to Riley's point, what I noticed, it was kind of like he has these spots where if you had UV, the snake could get away from UV because the ledge is overhang, so it could kind of sneak in, but the cage is still lit up really nice. And it could, get up into the UV. It could bask at this one spot. It could get away from that hot spot. It could go and hide. It could be on the ground and the leaf litter and all this stuff. It's just, oh man, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
When the carpet got, let's see. When the carpet got going with the fish, did it still take fish later, or did it take rodents after that? Also, when feeding Cribos tilapia, do they get rodents along with that in their diet? Well, as far as the fish, that animal has since switched over to mice. So
Owen did some scenting, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Just some fish scenting on rodents. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. As far as the Cribo end of that, I'm starting them on fish. It's a little more of the natural prey item. They're very small. They will eventually start seeing pretty much everything as food. So the plan is to get them started on something that's a little more natural, i.e. minnows, guppies, tilapia, chunks of tilapia anyway. And then once they get going on that and they start registering that and they'll take it from tongs, and I'll switch over, start scenting rodents, and then they really take off and start taking everything. By the time they're adults, there's hardly anything they won't take. So, but yeah, in my opinion, rodents just don't seem to click with them yet. So fish seem to disappear out of the food bowl. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
Just means a lot of water changes and taking care of fish.
Yeah.
I set up this old little like 1.5 gallon tank, and it has this janky ass little like top filter that if it's not perfectly level or if it gets the slightest bit backed up, it just starts like backing up the flow and coming out elsewhere and just spills. So like 2 nights in, I've got this thing spilling and killing. God damn it.
That's not what you want.
No, yeah. Now I'm like, well, might as well go and invest in a nice little tank. And then when I'm done with feeding these things fish, then I'll have this little tank and I'll just throw some freshwater shrimp in it and just leave it alone forever. So
cool.
But yeah, the fish thing is temporary. It's a starting tool, but then it will become an added variety in diet.
Nice. That's awesome.
Dragon's Lair saying that he has Papuans that eat anything, but pigeon is their favorite food.
Pigeon.
I never thought about feeding them pigeon.
I was listening to the Snake Talk podcast with the folks from the Orion Society, and they had a guest on who feeds a lot of his animals pigeon. He used to, I think it was him, or maybe it was on Herpetoculture. Anyway, somebody used to actually raise pigeons and feed them to their snakes, and they loved them. So,
oh wow, okay,
why not? It's no different than like quail or chicks, right? Probably
Yeah,
a little
man.
more,
Yeah.
little more
Pigeons
natural.
are kind of like sky rats.
Yeah.
yeah. I think you know, mixing it up with a lot of birds in their diet is probably really good long term for them. So
Yeah.
For sure.
My doomerals still only eat quail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
Speaking of that, did you see that Keith produced some Sanzinia?
Yeah, that's awesome. Some greens.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I didn't see that. I've been under a rock.
Yeah. He produced. I think she laid. She. What would the word be? Gave birth to.
Birthed. Yes.
Birth.
Nice.
Or pooped
Nice.
out.
Yeah. It was
Jack Oliver, thank you. It was on THP.
Okay.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a
Because at least one, the post made it seem like it was singular, but maybe I read it wrong.
No, I think he produced 6.
Ah, sweet.
And he had
for him.
3. Hold on.
Slugs.
Yeah, I think so.
No, that's awesome.
Good for him, man. That's another species that is not bred enough.
Right, 100%. I'm still kicking myself, man. I know I've said it before. There was like 3 babies at East Bay when I worked there the first time in 2019. Just I was too green to know what they were, and I missed the opportunity. They were cheap too.
Wow. He produced 6 live, 3 stillborn, and 1 slug.
Send me the stillborns.
Yeah. I took home a stillborn Brazilian rainbow boa yesterday and
Nice.
put it in the freezer.
No, seriously, like I love it when my friends come to visit and they bring me frozen snakes and stuff. It's good diversity for the Crebos and the Apodora.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to give the rainbow to a falsie. Yeah. Also, Alex, I'm not ignoring you. Let's see the falsies. I probably don't want to do that right now. They're a little bit hard to just whip out for a camera safely. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you. The old falsies. Man. Speaking of falsies, the Colubrid and Colubroid radio is officially up.
Yeah.
With Dr. Zach Loafman and Matt Most. It was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. I don't know. Did you guys take a listen to it? Did you hear it yet?
I haven't had a chance yet. I saw that it was up there, and I made a note. Yes, I set a reminder.
Yeah.
Going off right now.
I
Yeah.
listened. I loved it. I mean, obviously, it's my herp man crush right there. But I'm kind of mad about it because now everybody gets to get lectures from Zach for free, and I'm going thousands of dollars in debt to do that. So what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm glad that that we were able to get them to join in the network. It was good stuff. So
Yeah.
I think their knowledge that they have between the two of them is just going to be invaluable to people. You know,
It was cool. The segments they were talking about file snakes. It was like the most I've heard anybody ever talk about file snakes, and it was just the intro episode. You know.
yeah. It was the most
cool.
informational podcast on crawfish produced by NPR.
That too.
Yeah. Well, you know, he wanted it. It's funny. Like he contacted me and he was like, you know, he's mulling around the idea or whatever. And, you know, we're going back and forth and talking. And I said, so what do you hope to do? And he was just like, well, I want it to be just like NPR, but talking about colubrids and colubroids, you know, he's like, I want it to be exactly like it. I'm like, okay, sure. Okay.
Sure.
You know? Yeah. So,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess.
yeah. And you know, it's funny. Like I said this because Ryan Dumas, he put out a podcast on turtles, which is very underrated in the reptile podcast world, you know.
The Pondcast.
The podcast.
They have the best name in reptile podcasting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I you know, it's pretty cool. But I think what makes me jealous is by accident, I don't know, something was going on with the feed or something, and I think maybe it was an Apple update or something. But all of a sudden, I got these old episodes of NPR in my feed, and I hit on it, and I was like, "What the holy hell is this audio garbage?"
Yeah.
Everybody sounds so smooth now, and it's like that would cost like, you know, you'd be looking at like 10 grand to be able to produce a podcast of that quality back in the day when we started. So
right. That's all right. The information was still invaluable.
the Turtle Room is there's more turtle podcasts. I guess I don't know about turtle podcasts. I didn't know there was a whole bunch of different turtle podcasts. Okay, I stand corrected. It's my apologies.
I think there's only a couple, but yeah.
Turtle Town.
Turtle people are like Morelia people. They kind of stick to themselves.
Stay in their own little group. Yeah,
for the most part. You can usually spot them at shows too.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about. I don't know. They never really kind of, and I hear of all Owen's adventures with Mort, and I'm just glad that I never went down that road. I
had turtles as a kid.
So did I.
I had one of those tanks. We did like a half land, half water situation. And had like a painted turtle or something like that. And they never really did it for me either. They're just very smelly. Very smelly.
Yeah.
I get my rock stuff at work. Those North American spotted turtles are pretty wicked. Those things are fun. Shallow water, cool, you know, cold tolerant species. They're easy. They're fun.
Yeah. I appreciate turtles. I just don't want them here, you know, like seeing the green sea turtles in the wild is like one of the coolest things ever.
the difference between turtle and tortoise people and the rest of the reptile hobby is that turtle and tortoise people are just way more patient, in it for like the 70 to 80 year like long haul. They don't care about, well, there's like a small subsect of morphs and like red ear sliders and stuff, but like turtle and tortoise people are just like, they're just all about their animals and just having their turtles and nice setups and then upgrading the tanks and like,
right.
They're a different world, man. Totally different speed of herp keeper, and in a good and refreshing way, I should say.
A turtle pace.
Right.
Yeah.
The slow skis.
Yeah.
I got a question for you two guys, since you're both now in retail reptile land, right?
Yeah.
What is the main thing that people are is it a lizard? Is it a snake? Is it a turtle? What's the thing that most people come into the shop
Right.
inquiring about and wanting to pick up.
Riley, you want to go first? Or...
Yeah. Lately it's been things people can handle and interact with. Usually it's a lizard, and more often than not, it's been leopard geckos, crested geckos, bearded dragons, African fat tail geckos, and then that's kind of it. Like those are the main ones as far as lizards go. Occasionally we're getting people coming in for corn snakes and Mexican black king snakes and the occasional baby boa or blood python, but those are sort of infrequently going out.
Yeah, at East Bay is kind of a similar story the last couple weeks. A lot of cresty people, bearded dragons, of course. A lot of people actually looking for Russian tortoises, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But you can definitely follow the trends. You know, like I saw that Clint's Reptiles did a thing on doomerals, and then I had a bunch of people calling about doomerals. And
Yep.
Do you guys know, this is kind of nerdy that I know this, but you know the game Minecraft?
Yeah.
It's very big with the youth. They released an update, and there's axolotls in that game now, and I've had at least 10 children ask me for axolotls because of that. Which,
I get calls for those a lot. I didn't realize there was a game starting to do that, so that makes sense why I got 4 calls one morning for axolotls and had to explain to people how they're illegal in this state.
Exactly. So that's going to be a few months of axolotl talk, because that's like I think it's the #1 most played game in the world. But anyway,
anytime big games or big YouTubers do that, you see 100%, a huge shift.
It shows up.
Yeah, like when Clint did a thing on the emerald green skinks, I sold out of all the green skinks we had in the shop in one day.
Right.
Shit. My dad bought them from that.
Yeah.
I doubt that your dad watched that though, right?
To be completely honest, I watched it too, and I was blown away. And I think Clinton did an excellent job portraying those lizards. And the best part about it is people are like, wow, this is amazing. And it totally promoted having like a fun, interactive lizard. What most people don't realize is those things are all wild caught.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know, they come in like laying eggs in the bag, like some of them with ticks on them. It's just like, they're fun lizards. You build a beautiful setup and they will like literally run out on your hand, kind of
he
check
says
you
it
out
all
and
the
then
time.
go back and like, you want to be nervous that they're gonna like take off, and like very rarely do they do that.
He says I don't know if it's the male or the female. He has them together, this big, huge, tall, extra terror cage, and he opens the door. One runs out, runs up his arm, sits on the shoulder, sits there for a minute or two, and then runs back into the cage.
Yep.
Just like, what the hell?
Yeah, they're fun.
It's so weird to have my dad talk to me about a reptile YouTuber. He's like, hey, did you ever hear this Clint YouTube guy? And I'm like, what?
Yes.
It's kind of like if you were like into Metallica and your dad like, came into the room. He's like, yo, man, heard this cool band. It's called Metallica, man. You're like, what the hell? You can't be liking the same music that I like. This is not cool. But,
that's awesome.
But it's crazy.
Yeah. And then in terms of the snakes, I've been getting the most inquiries on rosy boas lately, but maybe that's just because John at East Bay, he has been breeding those things for decades. So I think they kind of know.
To be fair, like lately I've been thinking about like what are good snakes to like keep and breed in the shop. And that's one of the species that I would like for us to add, because size, ease of care. And if you are interested in breeding, you don't have to worry about incubation. You just have to be on your P's and Q's and feeding and cycling.
And there's some really beautiful variation. You can do locality work with them, which is fun.
You can do morphs, you can do locality work, you can just have a cool, awesome little pet that is very active during the daytime that you can set up on a nice sandy enclosure. Like they're fun. They're really cool snakes.
Isn't Todd like really into them? Yeah, he's like diehard. I remember talking to him at Tinley about it. And he's like, screw all this carpet talk. Rosie Bose is where it's at. I'm like, what?
Yeah, Todd is he loves anything that has like cool locality variation, stuff like that, because I mean, as much as he is, Morelia, Mr. Morelia, like his like start is in colubrids from his dad. And like gray banded stuff. Like he was around a lot of the early like milk snake, king snake, gray banded locality stuff via his dad. And so he's got it in his blood, man. And yeah, he's got a lot of Rosie Boas.
Does he? Yeah.
I had a Bay of LA Rosie Boa, and I loved the thing. I only got rid of him to get a carpet. My first carpet. So.
Yeah, they're fun. They're cold tolerant. You can wheel their rack right out into the garage, drop them down into the winter, and bring them right back 12 weeks later, feed them up, and they're good to go. And they produce babies that are small, usually eat pinkies, but they can incubate or brumate right away too. I mean, they're just
for sure.
And it's pretty cool that we have a boa in the U.S.
Yeah,
that's pretty
more
cool.
Colorful than the rubber boas.
Yeah, I think in time we'll see more rubber boas being produced, but they'll never be a big. They just don't have large litters. They really need to get cold, and the legality in some states is probably a hurdle for some. I don't know, but they're cool too. They just don't have the same appeal as a Rosie Boa. I mean, damn, the thing has 3 racing stripes down it. So
yeah, man. Yeah, I think Rob, there's a man, he's gonna be mad because I can't remember the locality, but he has one. He really likes Rosie Boas as well, but he has this locality that is pretty chill. And my experience with Rosies is that, and I guess again, it's probably because they're like these snakes that inhabit these rocky outcrops, and they're in these cracks, and something walks by, and then boom, so they're just like, they're very strike orient, like strike first, think about what it is, and that later, that kind of thing.
Very much like a king snake in that way.
Yeah. But this specific locality is I guess is known for being calmer or chiller or whatever. But
nice.
It's pretty cool. I have to ask them what it is.
Yeah, they're fun. They're cool. I think they're a good candidate for somebody with very little space who wants to work on some locality breeding and some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Is it do you guys, as like the shop, do you like try to influence those trends of things? Do you like, how does, what I mean? Like, how do you, obviously you're there to sell reptiles, right? And you're not really, well, maybe your situation might be a little bit different, Riley, because it seems like he sort of has what he has, and that's sort of what he has. And like, he perfects that kind of, am I wrong in thinking that way?
More or less. I mean, we try and roll with, some of the trends, and as we have space open up, we'll, bring some animals in, but we do want to be sustainable with what we produce and kind of produce, a small but good variety of animals that can suit a healthy variation of needs for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Gotcha.
I absolutely try to influence the trends.
Yeah.
I mean, well, first of all, I miss GX3. I miss you guys. It's such a great place.
Yeah, now I gotta clean my own snakes, you bum.
Well, blame it on the government. If we had high-speed rail to Sacramento, I'd still be there.
I have to actually go in the back and clean my own snakes now, Lucas.
Damn it. If I could be there in less than 45 minutes, I'd do it.
All right.
But anyway,
until you got to the tub of blood pythons that just hatched out and would bite the crap out of you,
then I'd be like, help. No, yeah, I absolutely do try to influence. We have a couple clutches of jungles that hatched out that are actually some pretty nice jungles that I'm trying to convince people are cool. People are like, can I see that ball python? I'm like, well, yes, you can, but you can also see this jungle, and we can actually talk about that. I don't know. For the most part, you can tell when a customer has done the research and they're coming in with something very much in mind. And I don't try to dissuade people like that. But the people that just come in off the street and they're just like, I want a snake. And I've heard about ball pythons and corn snakes. You know, I try to steer them in some different directions sometimes. And
I had a drunk plumber come into the shop a couple weeks ago.
A drunk plumber. Okay.
Okay, I
all
have
right.
2 questions, but I'll save them.
So, yeah, he called ahead, and I was like, some drunk guy called asking for carpet pythons. I was like, this is weird. Okay. Sure enough, a drunk guy shows up later and gets out of his plumbing truck and everything, and he's like slurring words, but like, okay enough, I guess, and like really would not let me, like, with my hints of like, yeah, you should do some research and double check some things. He's like, nope, I already know what I need. I've kept snakes before.
I
got some
want a
stuff.
parket python.
So he's like, can I take a look at that? And I pull out this coastal, and it's like biting me, and he's like, cool, man, cool, I'll take her. and I was like, you've kept snakes before? You don't mind that it bites? Like, I used to keep worms and boas and iguanas and stuff. I've pretty much had it all. And I was like, you've had nothing, but okay. Sure, it's a carpet python. This, you know, I gave him the rundown. He's like, yeah, I know. Okay, I can do that. And yeah, he bought a coastal, and that was the only time where I was like, I'm going to kind of steer you in this direction, and you're just going to go with it. Otherwise, I just let people, they usually know what they want when they come in. If they don't know what they want, I just find out what their lifestyle is like, what they can and can't handle.
I guess what I'm thinking of is like, you know, this I guess this is what fascinates me about this, and this is always why I wanted to have like a reptile retail shop, because of being in retail for so long. I can influence people on what to buy food wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can put something in a certain location, and it doesn't matter if they wanted it or not, they're going to buy it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just where it is and how it's presented, and you know, all that kind of stuff.
I've had
Presentation.
my hands on the arrangement of the floor in my 2 weeks back.
Yeah. Okay.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference, man.
100%.
Like,
I found prime real estate for the Aussie olive python. I found prime real estate for my old granite jag that's still there.
Holy shit, man.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, the presentation is everything, and making sure stuff moves and sells and doesn't just sit there and cost you more money. I mean, you have to think of it in that regard. You have to think of, you know, every square foot and how much money can you get out of it. And
yeah,
it's different.
Yeah, I would think like it, like, and I guess that's the other question, right? You know, like for food, right? For running a supermarket, I sort of have to stay ahead of what the trends are. Like, you know, as soon as I remember like 10 years ago, as soon as Dr. Oz would talk about, you know, whatever it would be, you know, here's raspberry ketones, and everybody would be coming in like, where do I get raspberry ketones?
Right.
You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So I wonder, like, how do you have somebody that you're just because you got, well, I mean, Riley, you're very plugged in, Lucas, you're very plugged in, but like, is that the key to the success of those kind of things, being very plugged into what's going on in the general reptile world?
It's really a crucial part of, because your customers are going to be up to speed on whatever's in the forefront on the internet and whatever they're seeing. So you have to be a couple steps, or at least right there with them.
Right.
And you kind of have to understand your market too. So that can give you the ability to make some judgment calls and decisions and see if it works out, and then trust your instinct a little bit further the more you go on. I mean, I don't know how much influence you have at the shop, Lucas, for products and things like that. Probably very little.
More than last time, because my good buddy is the manager now. But what I was going to say is, like, I agree wholeheartedly, but East Bay doesn't go out of their way to stick with trends. I mean, they've been
they've got a system
50 years. Exactly. They just do their thing. And it's
and
so big that they usually have what people are looking for the most part.
With that much space and history, they can kind of do their thing, and people go to them for the variety because that's who they are.
Exactly.
So I guess it's like you have to pick what your niche is going to be and sort of figure out, like, are you going to be a specialty shop, or you're going to be, you know, like the generic type of shop, you know?
Right.
And then ultimately the bottom line for business is you have to be profitable. So then you're at the mercy of the cost of the goods you're buying, what's selling, what isn't, trimming the fat, trying to be efficient with, what you carry and not carry stuff that never sells. And
also the state of like peripheral markets. Like, I don't know about you, but we haven't been able to get large crickets in weeks, and that hurts.
Right now, well, no, we have no problem with crickets.
Lucky, because I'm just
See,
like,
here's the thing. You have to be on top of your game. You have to, like, we spend a lot of money to have crickets shipped in from out of state.
Okay.
And we have several different sources that we've had to go to great extremes, pay 3 times the shipping in order just to keep certain feeders in stock. And right now the shortage is on superworms.
Okay.
But I think Grant has done a great job influencing people to add a good, healthy variety to their animals' diets, because he goes to such great lengths making sure we have crickets, superworms, mealworms, waxworms, hornworms, silkworms, dubia roaches, occasionally black soldier fly, rodents of all sorts and types, like feeder fish, and
well, East Bay has the giant rodent breeding operation in store, Jack. So I do know that smell well.
By the way, hornworms, if I haven't said it already, are lizard crack. Straight up lizard crack. I don't know what is in those things, but they just, oh my God, they love them.
And if your lizard bites onto them hard enough and they explode and that stuff gets on your clothes, it stains.
Wow. Really? Okay, good to know.
Their innards will stain your clothing. I got splattered with a good Savannah monitor chomp on one, and it right up my shoulder on a khaki shirt, and it's stained ever since.
Jeez.
Oh, here we go. Eric, am I planning on pairing some snakes this season? Yeah, we kind of got derailed us. I kind of like, I think I was talking to you, Riley, about this, but I kind of like the on-off approach for me, right? I think that the breeding season, I mean, I'm not doing this for a business, and and I've really slimmed down the collection. So I'm not really chasing morphs per se, like trying to make these different combos and stuff like that I was in the past. But I like the idea of breeding one season and then taking off the next season. I think it's probably really beneficial for my collection, right? Ultimately, I think it gives the females enough time to reset. I think it gives me enough time to focus on raising up those babies and not having to worry, because I see it seemed like to me, like the more and more that I did it, because I've been breeding I think my first clutch was 20, so almost 10 years. It's like, I don't know, as soon as you have a clutch and you're already preparing for the next season, and it's like it never ends. And for me, like I get super excited like this time of year when I see all these awesome things hatching out and get jealous, and it gets me fired up. I'm like, yes, I'm ready to breed again. And it doesn't become a chore, I guess, so I think that's going to be my style. Now, maybe I'll do like maybe on those off years, I might focus on one of those harder to breed species. Like maybe I'll try olive pythons, or maybe I'll try womas, or whatever it would be, But this year I'm gonna try diamonds again, inlands. I got tons of coastal stuff. I'm gonna try hypo tigers, poison ivy stuff.
Nice.
What else? Lots of popwin stuff. All kind of different stuff. I think it. I'm trying to think what else. Lightning line, gelatins again. Just all kinds of cool stuff I got that hopefully will.
That's awesome.
We'll get going.
What's your time frame on your womas?
I probably Probably not this season coming up, but the following season.
Okay.
Oh, how can I forget? I mean, I'm going to be hopefully producing some Russian red tigers, Yakapuri Depot
Nice.
locality carpets, which I think will be awesome to get them back out into the mix. Trying to think what else as far as carpets go. Like I said, hypo stuff that should be pretty cool. I
You
could,
want to do some Brettles? Get some data for me.
I could try it. And what else?
Citrus tiger stuff.
Citrus tiger stuff, yeah, of course. I think I'm gonna do a straight citrus tiger clutch again,
Nice.
and I'm gonna try to get that out into people's hands and stuff. So
Hell yeah.
I'm
I
sure
want
you.
one more.
Yeah.
You're
want
gonna
one
do
more.
a lot. That's awesome.
Yeah, I need
yeah.
at least one more, like not head albino related. 'Cause
Yeah, just straight. Yeah,
The
100%.
only one I have is the caramel citrus tiger female. She's the only one that's not head albino.
Oh no, you're
related.
gonna get. Yeah, you got to get a pair, man. I'm gonna send you a pair. Yeah. I think I feel like I'm forgetting children's pythons I could do, but I think, like I said, I think I'm gonna wait till the following season to do them. Maybe do Tullies. I don't have a male big enough. The female probably could go next year, so there'll probably be next year. Palmerston's I could do. Port Douglas, Brisbane's are kind of on the fence.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. So should be some cool stuff carpet wise. High orange, high yellow Popwins, and then obviously probably the one I'm most excited about is poison ivy, because this would be sibling to sibling. So we'll see what happens.
I need something from that too.
Yeah, of course.
I was pulling out the babies from this year, and that one male I have, he's just like black after his first shed. It reminds me so much of poison ivy, and I'm like, this is great and all, but like now I have two. Like I feel like I can't put this with poison ivy stuff. I feel like it's got to be separate.
Is it a female?
I've got a pair of them.
Oh, okay.
Two of them came out looking like really dark.
Okay.
So
maybe in the Eric Santa box, I'll just throw a male poison ivy in there. I have what? God, I think I have 12 males that are from her.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
that's a lot.
2 females and what is poison ivy? It's basically a white lip python in a carpet version.
Yeah. It's black.
Super black.
Super black, white.
Just
lips.
the faintest little white that they get, like the stitching, like the Jack Skellington a little bit in the neck, and
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. That's probably the most exciting thing. If we could have a melanistic carpet in the States, that's, to me, man, I swear, I know I'm counting my chickens before they're hatched, and I probably regret saying things like this, and I'll jinx myself. But like, there's so many. Not so many. There's a few of these dark IJs that are floating around from various people over the years that are the exact same age as poison ivy. Well, they are the same age thought as poison ivy. Yeah. And because they don't have the information, it's kind of like, but it looks just like her. And it just seems odd that, when that clutch was produced, that they all came out normal. When I produced them, they all come out normal. And then they just turn black. So,
yeah. Speaking of melanistic carpets, the pair that I got of mine from Emily Stoddard that I always talk about, they're not brown, they're black. Their dark tones are black. So I'm looking forward to pairing those up this season. But she randomly reached out to me the other day she's like, "Hey, are you still interested in the dark IJ stuff?" She's in her own way kept a few things back and still doing some dark IJ breeding, but she hit me up and we worked out a little baby swap because I had one remaining from this year's clutch, and so check this out. She is gonna send me this wicked little thing because she thinks it's going to be super dark, and I think it's extra sexy with that zigzag stripe all the way through.
Yeah,
Nice. That's cool.
So that will be coming hopefully in a couple weeks, month, 2, whatever. Yeah, really excited about that because more IJs. Who can complain about that?
Yeah, man.
Yes. Santa Eric will.
Oh, sorry,
my
Alex.
toast
Poplin carpet.
Nah. It's funny. We had Nick on, right? And he says IJ.
Yeah.
The guy that got all mad, he's like, IJ. Oh, damn it.
Yeah. It's funny because he caught himself every time. He was like, what the hell?
He's like, damn it. I'm going to have everybody yelling at me. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how it goes. Whoa. And wasn't she bred to a jag? So can be 50-50 coastal IJs that are that line. Yeah, she was bred to a jag. It was the first breeding that was done with her, which to me, I don't know. It just was the dumbest thing ever, but whatever. Yeah. But yeah, she was bred to a jag, and oddly enough, I don't think that the jags, from what I've seen, as they've grown into adult, I think Evan had some, or he had one. I think it was Evan. And it didn't really get, it got some black scales or whatever, but nothing like what I've seen from her directly.
Jag is too dominant of a visual thing.
Yeah, I think you might be right, but yeah, nonetheless, very awesome. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to find, I'll just throw a picture up here of her if I can find a picture. Poison ivy. It's crazy how dark her babies have become and how they've grown up, and just each shed they're different, but they were just born normal. So I don't know. IMG type of thing. Who knows? It could be nothing. Could be selective breeding. I can tell you that when I bred them, I have bred them to the lightest, yellowest, orangest IJs you could get. So,
wow.
Just to sort of rule out, the whole idea of like a polygenetic trait. It's hard to talk and scroll through pictures, by the way.
I can vouch for how different they are, having seen them at Carpet Fest, Northeast Carpet Fest in 2019. They are very, very dark, and their pattern darker. That's there is super dark.
Wow.
Yeah, they are way darker. So like this here, I'm going to share this picture, right? And this is one of her offspring, and this is an older picture. But you see all this black is filled in. So she's black on the top, and then that orange on the bottom.
That's so cool.
And it just keeps creeping down lower and lower. The head stamp is all filled in. There's like no black. The whole head is black.
But that photo is like 5 years old. Where's recent pics?
Yeah, I know. You know why I haven't put them up? Because I just don't want the barrage of emails saying, "Are you going to have any available? What's the you know what I'm saying?" Yeah, I just when I have some more
zip code $sign snake emoji. I did that to Owen on Instagram. It's fun.
Or like the other one I got yesterday. The
here's the deal, man. I got $200.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, but that's not the price. And then he hits me up on the snake that's $200 more expensive and offers me $50 less. I'm like,
what happened to the other 50?
well,
He's-
you know how
he's
much
spent it.
drugs cost these days, and to ask a question like that, I hope that's what he's spending on, because he's
So
high
funny.
out of his mind.
Like, I'll give you 150 for it.
I just responded saying the price is $350 plus
I know.
shipping.
That was
And
very
it's
good.
just like,
Very good.
I don't know what you're asking of me, dude. That's not how this works. Go back to Kmart or whatever for your snakes.
Yeah. That's why I don't post pictures of poison ivy stuff, and why I don't.
And I
really,
get it. I think Nick mentioned something in a post once when he was like, I don't post until babies are like multiple sheds fed and ready, so that if people are hitting me up about it, he's just like, go to the website, and it's just like they're there, they're ready. He doesn't have to do anything, just handle payment sort of thing.
Totally.
And I get it with the volume.
From.
Yeah. But then he accidentally tells me about things, and then I'm the annoying voice in his ear for months. It's like he doesn't completely escape it.
Yeah, but
we all have to earn our stripes.
Yeah. We actually buy
year.
the snakes from them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I know. I'm kind of nervous to have things that are actually going to be available. I'm like,
Oh, you mean for you to sell them?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what Riley was just saying.
Lucas
it's like,
is going to earn his stripe this year. He's gonna pop his selling cherry.
Yeah,
it's gonna be my turn to deal with people. Yeah.
You're gonna be super excited about it, and then you'll have awesome customers, and then you'll have awesome, like I really do. Like the people that get snakes from me are awesome. They really are.
Right.
Awesome.
You'll be
people,
nervous
the
first few shipments too.
For sure. Yeah, like I'm not ignorant to the customer service side of things, but I've never had to put them in a box and put them in the mail. So yeah.
So here she is on egg.
Yeah,
eggs.
sure.
That's her on eggs.
Wow.
So you can see how dark she is.
That's so
heavenly. Cool. Oh, she was the best.
Yeah, she's a cool snake. So bummed that whatever. What?
He said, yeah, Lucas, I want one, but I will only communicate via emoji. Okay. I give only you permission to do that, and I will not hang you for it.
There you go. Here's another one that's not the normal one that people see. That's her. But when she was born, she was normal looking. And like I said, all that black just creeps in and creeps up. And
it's funny that you mentioned that there's other animals out there that same deal, same time frame and everything. Because Terrell has one, same deal, same time frame, around the same age, came from taught at Psychotic from two normal Papuan parents that he had years ago that he has since gotten rid of. And, time flies and you lose track of things. So technically, because there isn't a physical this is the parent, this is the other parent sort of thing, we have to call it, but it's literally the same animal. And he's had her for years and years and years, can't get her to breed. I don't know why. I know it's hard to get temperature swings where you're at in Simi Valley area down there, and it's pretty damn warm, so maybe there's challenges with that, but it is a Papuan. So, but anyway, there are some out there, and dude, I want all black Papuan carpets.
Yeah, me too.
That would be so cool, man.
I can't wait to. I am breeding this girl as far as coastals go, so this should be pretty cool. As I'm going through, I started looking. I was like, oh yeah. Might as well share her as well.
Oh yeah,
I love that snake. Yeah,
that's
that
cool.
thing's beautiful.
Is that a chicken yakitori depot?
No, that's a Michael Pinnell chicken yakitori depot. Number 9. I'll take a number 9.
Some egg rolls on the side, please.
Ooh, it comes with eggs too. Hell yeah!
Better.
And this one, dude. Oh man, this is this is a blast from the past. This is probably one of my most favorite IJs I ever had.
Hmm.
Oh, I just love that collar. She was smoking.
Favorite Irian Jaya.
Yeah. Sounds like lyrics from a bare naked lady song. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what I have on the docket.
That's awesome.
Some cool stuff.
Awesome.
Oh, of course, there it is. There's the picture. God damn it! I just had to scroll one more. That's her.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the perfect carpet python right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
She
That's all you need.
See, this is why I don't like white lips, because why would I need a white lip when I have a snake that looks like
Oh,
it?
no. Here we go.
Like it. No, I do like white lips. I
They
just
don't
don't
fit into
like,
your.
Keeping
yeah, they just don't fit into keeping for me, you know. I mean, they're amazing, beautiful snakes. Holy hell.
I'm ashamed to say that, like, other than interacting with like maybe one or two, I've really never worked with them, or like brief interactions, like maybe once or twice tops. So like what I know is external from other people's experiences. They seem to remind me of kind of what they remind me of from what I hear anecdotally is a Darwin, and kind of how nervous and weird, like they can move, but they're a little more confident than a Darwin because they will turn around and square up and defend themselves. But they can be a very nervous snake. And my Darwins are like that, or at least the male is. And I see some similarities, but yeah,
I could see that.
I got hands-on in person for the first time with the pair of Southerns that they have now at East Bay, and they're both very chill. Which,
like if they've got a good temperament, then like
right.
Hell yeah, that's a great snake.
Right.
I don't know I don't have any hands-on experience with the husbandry. I would imagine you probably need humidity and not as much heat. You probably got to stay on top of that, but otherwise, like if you get a nice demeanor on them, they're probably
right.
chill.
But then, on the flip side, there's a Psycho Northern that we have as well that is a psycho.
Sounds like my Maclots.
Yeah.
My Macs are just nuts. The male more so, like on a scale of 1 to 10, he's like a 9, and the female's like a 6. They're just
I think I've had 5 of them.
Macs or white lips.
White lips.
White lips. And
any of them captive born and bred, or
1.
Okay.
All the rest were small wild caught stuff, or captive hatched, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. I again, like I said, I remember at Carpet Fest I got a small. I think I got 2 of them, and they were small, and I had done some trades for some carpet stuff or whatever, and I was like, let me give these guys one more try. Let me see, what I wanted to have them. You know what I mean? You ever have those animals that you want to work with, but like no matter how many times you try, it just ends in utter failure. And you're just like, I guess this is not meant to be, but yeah, it just, I don't know. I remember taking them at Carpet Fest. We went out back. I put them in the sun, and I was blown away because of the iridescent is just, I mean, it's second to none, they're just amazing when it comes to that type of thing. It's just that sheen and that look. And, it kind of reminded me of my John Petrucci guitar that like when you moved it, it changed colors. I think John Mayer has a guitar like that, but like I had this, it was like, if you turn this way in the light, it would be green. If you turn that way, it would be purple. If you turn, you know what I mean?
That's cool.
It was really cool. But I don't know. I just couldn't get them. I couldn't get them, man. I think I think it could have been too many other things, and not the maybe they need that extra special care. I know that like when I was working with a lot of different species of pythons, I just did the old like it's a python. It has to go in this box. Like it has to be this. You know, you have to keep it like a carpet. And I soon realized that that's not the case. You know, and usually they end up at Owen's house because that's his.
Yeah. And he's very happy about it.
Yeah.
He loves
So
it.
he supports the white lip tries, but you know, that's what it is.
Yeah, well, and on the flip side, he thinks popwin carpets suck and he can't breed those. And so,
Yeah.
other side of the
100%.
fence, grass is greener, different lenses we're looking through.
Yeah, that's a perfect example, right? He tried. I remember if you listen to the very, very early days of NPR, he was like, oh, you know, like, oh yeah, popwood carpets. Yeah, let's go. And then no.
Now the universe has finally convinced him that he's Mr. Coastal and he believes it. And it's good.
Yeah.
It's
And he
happy
hates
that way.
Womas now too.
Yeah, see?
Which is
he hates
weird.
Womas, which I can say to him, I'm like, how can you hate Womas? Why
don't
so
get
much
it.
hate for the Woma?
Yeah,
You
that
know?
I don't
No,
agree
don't
with.
convince him otherwise. It's okay.
So I don't mean anything about like when we talk about not liking this snake or that snake or whatever. And you know, I guess sometimes it does influence you know, people's perception of that, you know, because oh well, Eric said they suck. No, I'm saying they suck for Eric. You know what I mean? So try them out yourself. You might like them. You might dig them, you know. I don't know.
For
anyway,
sure. Yeah.
I'll get down off my my Eric's thoughts.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, beautiful animals, very cool. A lot of cool people working with them, but not my thing. So
For sure. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot
as
of
much
people that
as-
would say rainbows suck too, and I would be like, well, yeah.
That's another
Yeah.
one. That's one that I think is absolutely beautiful, but I would never really want to keep it.
Yep.
right.
Yep.
See, to me, false water cobras, not my thing. Awesome
Fair.
snakes, you know, but just like I don't know.
I didn't think they would be, but damn, they are. I love
Yeah.
them.
I got to admit, man, when I went to see them at Owen's house, when he lost the children's python that you sent
Mhm.
to his house, right? I had nothing to do as he searched for the children's python other than to look at his false water cobras, and I was very tempted. Like, yeah, that's the thing about this hobby, man. You just like
Right.
You talk to somebody, you look at something, you see something, you know, and then you're sort of like, oh man, it'd be cool to keep them, you know. But
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's too many animals, too little time, and then the waves of what comes in and out of focus vary so much. Like right now, knobtails are coming back into focus, which is awesome. And
yeah,
it's tempting.
even in Australia, I hear you know, the Jason and Luke when they're talking about what was popular
Mhm.
a few years ago as a bit like they were talking about how they couldn't give away knobtails,
Right.
and now all of a sudden they have this huge resurgence.
And they can't even get them.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. He was, yeah, I was listening to one of their episodes a while back saying he can't even get them anymore. Like he had to buy back some of his old stock, and even then he can only get a couple, and like
Huh.
the price is like quadrupled, and the availability is like shot because everybody wants them. So
For me, Amy Eye, man, that's where it's at for me. A Centralian. I mean, come on.
yeah, I just read through in the Lizards of Australia through the different knobtails, and they are the biggest. I've seen them in person, so I know how impressive they are. I particularly find the fact that their big head scales are like outlined, and it
Yes.
reminds me of like the cracked red sands of Australia on the top of their head.
Yes.
And then they have these stunning kaleidoscope eyes and these like spiky backs, and then yeah, they're just really, really cool geckos.
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool.
Australia has some really badass geckos. I mean, like when you start to open up that box, holy hell, man! They have some really cool species of geckos. That's
Lots and lots and lots of them.
right? Especially when you flip through Scott and Ty's book, you're like, wait, what? Wait, I didn't know this. Wait, what? What? You know?
208 species currently described and accepted in 24 genera. Just Australia alone.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a lot.
Crazy. Yeah, man. I think my thing is going to try to be to have a little representation of the different environments of Australia and the different types of species, right? A couple monitors, a couple different kind of geckos, like a knobtail, a datria. I hope I said that right. Strophuris, maybe a leaf tail, which obviously they're not going to take up a huge amount of space, but obviously you have the pythons, that kind of thing going on. And,
Right.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
It's my thing.
Well, we could definitely do that at the MPR Serpentarium.
Yeah.
For Australia world.
The Australia wing.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys do the rest. I'll just live in the Australia wing.
All right. I'll enlist Loafman to do South America.
Yeah. There you go. But I don't know. That's kind of like it's kind of fun to start at the beginning again with different things. Like I kind of feel like with doing the monitors, it's like starting at the beginning again, and like learning all this stuff. And I've been really trying to make a concerted effort to like read at the end of the night. I have all these books. Like the whole purpose is not to collect them like stamps; it's to read them. Get information from them. So
for sure,
but,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. But yeah, speaking of carpet pythons, did you see this wild? When we talk about carpet pythons, right? And we talk about, tell me you would not kill somebody for that.
Oh, well, is there two in there?
There's two
in there.
There's three in there.
There's three in there.
Oh yeah, look. There's a head. There's a head.
The other head is under the coil on the far left, and then the other head is on top.
I like the big one on top the most. I think the stripy one's cool.
I like the head pattern on that.
I'm not sure if
just send me the box. I won't complain.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I'm not sure for me if it's homicide worthy, but it's very nice.
Oh, there's so many people on the planet, Lucas. Worthy is out of the question. It's just time and place, details. Send it to me. Keep it quiet, and we'll, make sure snakes show up on time.
Right even the snake emoji buyer, you would not, take snake emoji buyer out for.
It's too public here.
Yeah, they're from Gatton, which is. Sort of by this is where they're from. That was one of the snake catchers came across it.
Wow,
that's where they're from. Right there.
So that's a coastal.
Yep.
Yeah, it had a very coastal look to it.
Damn.
Right. That stripe though was nuts.
Yeah. No, they were coastal carpets.
That's badass.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah.
I'm excited to have more real carpets. I only have the inlands if we don't count Bruttles, which we shouldn't. So that'll be good. I'll feel like it will feel better to me to do carpets and coffee when I have more carpets.
You'll feel part of the group. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, cool. So yeah,
I could set you up with a real angry zebra. Or some coastals. They're all going to bite you just the same.
We'll talk.
I did have to give, so I was I thought that maybe we would try to do some positive shout outs of people that have impressed us or something we saw that was cool, so that we can spread the positive, stuff instead of focusing on what's bad about the hobby, because there's a lot of good things about the hobby. But I want to say that so this is going to be a weird one, because the person that I'm going to shout out is right down here, and I was quite impressed with the Blackhead show that we just did. There was a lot of like little tidbits that I didn't know, but my man came to play. He was ready. Like, holy hell. That was good, man. That was really good. I got a lot of positive feedback about it, and
well, thank you.
You're not messing
I had
around.
A blast doing it. I appreciate that. Thank you for having me on there. It was a great time. I guess we said the scientific name wrong, maybe. But other than that, yeah.
That's just Scott being Scott.
In his voice,
melanocephalus.
Yeah, he sent me a voice message and said it's melanocephalus with a like how you say cephalopod. But in my head, I'm like, but I don't say cephalopod. I say cephalopod.
Well, and apparently it's leucistic, not leucistic.
Oh,
so.
Right. Yeah. Damn it.
Damn
it. But thank you.
But
that means a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
It was good.
Yeah,
It was good.
That was a well done episode.
A lot of cool little tidbits. It was weird to do an episode and have somebody that, that had, researched the topic as well. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's usually me doing the research and then sending it to OMAC and him sort of like, okay, yeah, I agree with this. I don't agree with this. And wait a minute. Who's the boss here? Is it me or you? I'm not sure. Are we? What's going on? But
right on. Oh, thank you.
But very cool. Very cool. And if you haven't listened to it, you should check it out. Natural history episode that we just did on blackheads. So
there were a few things too. I mean, Justin sent a few things our way, and that was super helpful. Like confirming that they do eat the venomous snake. I guess Shine found a mulga in one of them.
Yep.
And then he also referenced a more up-to-date phylogeny, which I'm taking my time to work through right now. That 2020 like Esquire paper. It's like it's a lot, but I'm working through it at the moment. Like it's the thing that I guess it's also the same paper that made Owen Pelly's Narawan instead of Cymalia or something like that. So there's a whole bunch
okay.
of shit.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
Yeah. That's my shout out. So
thank you. Riley, do you want to go next? Because I'm still thinking of mine. Or do you need more time? Do you need more time?
No.
Like,
my shout out is to Travis Johnson of Living Legless, who is moving to Tennessee in the coming weeks. His wife just moved out there, started work early. He's going to be moving the kids and the collection out there shortly.
Wow, that's a hell of a trip.
Yeah, it is. And he's got a couple hundred snakes that he's moving from, all sorts of carpets to olives to dozens and dozens of bull snakes and corn snakes and macklots and Argentine boas and dwarf boas and just a really amazing collection. And I've known Travis for a very long time. And he's a good dude, and he's never been one for any of the online negativity. And so hats off to him for always being just down to earth himself, positive and unplugged enough to stay away from it all. And then always hooking me up with some good animals and letting me take home like two of the nicest Nova Guineas in his rack. I literally showed up, went to the bathroom, said, "Hi, where are my snakes?" And I walked in there and I was like, I pulled out all the Novas and I like started folding tabs. Like, this one's coming home with me. This one's coming home with me. People are looking at them. I was like, no, stop. I literally pushed people out of the way. I started folding tabs so they couldn't see the snakes. I was like, these are mine. These are claimed. Sorry, can't have them. And then I went out there and found Travis at the barbecue. I was like, "Hey, Travis, by the way, I picked out my snakes. You can't have those." He's like, "I haven't even picked my holdbacks." I said, "Sorry, buddy, too late." And he went in there and he's like, "Okay, well, none of those are my holdbacks. This one I was looking at." I was like, "Well, stop looking at it because they're mine." And so the shout out to him for letting me rip those away from him. I definitely, he's always provided me with excellent animals, and I can't thank him enough for it, and just always being a good role model. And I'll miss being, 4 hours up the road from him. Now it's like a 4-hour plane flight probably. So,
right. Yeah.
But the silver lining in that is he's now an hour and a half east of April, who's in Memphis. So now we have two good friends and folks out in Tennessee.
Nice
to road trip or fly out and go visit to see. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Travis is like, first of all, the fact that he does like coastal carpets when he was sort of doing coastal carpets when the morph craze was sort of there, but like he just sort of like, nah, I'm doing my thing, man. And more
Dude,
power
his
to him.
coastals are
They're sick.
amazing.
They're
Amazing.
sick.
He has stuff that you got to see in person, stuff that like hatched out looking like white-sided rat snakes. And now
Yeah.
they're like all white with like a little speckling of pattern in them. They're just nuts. The
Yeah,
craziest caramels. Dude, yeah, he's a great example of when you stick to your guns and you stick to what you
Yeah,
like and you don't follow any rat race and you just stick to it. It pays off in the end because his coastals are as pure as the driven snow and the best you'll see out there, right up there with Nick. I mean, it comes from a lot of Nick's stock, but let's face it, you take the pieces and you run with your vision, and he's done that.
The funny thing is, though, is like even as purest of Nick is and like a coastal carpet guy and all this stuff, it's like he rarely does straight coastal carpet. Like he's doing Rockhamptons, he's doing caramels. He does have coastals from it. He does Brisbane's, yes, but like I think what Travis is doing is like really just refining just your normal coastal carpet.
Yeah, and when it all is said and done, he will have his own line of like high yellow zigzag striped bat eater looking coastal things and high white caramel stuff that just doesn't make sense. And
yeah, man.
it's nuts what he's got going. And
That's awesome.
And it is appreciated. I think he sells out pretty well every year, and they're not high dollar animals, but like his customers usually are very happy with those snakes. And I've been fortunate enough to get a few of them over the years, and they're hands down, they're always the prettiest animals in the collection. So
yeah, and he's like, the other cool thing is he's like one of these guys in the carpet python world where he sort of is known, but you never see him like.
Yeah,
I hope I'm like that now. Like, I'm known, but I don't really go on groups and stuff. Whereas like me and you, Riley, Lucas, you're not. Well, you're sort of a carpet person, but like you're sort of like no. You're like the Bredli Asphodite guy. Like we got to get you.
We got to branch you out a little bit more.
It's not because I don't want to be.
Yeah. I know.
I'm
sorry.
I'm just joking. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So like, we would get on these carpet groups and we'd be arguing about. I guess at the end of the day, it's just bullshit or whatever. But like we'd be fired. I'm like, no, man, this is fucking bullshit. What are you doing? And he just sort of was like, yeah, man, whatever, cool. I got some coasters. Check it out.
Yep. That's exactly Travis, man. You hang out with him, he's just kind of like, yep, yeah, I got this stuff. But then you start looking at what he's got, dude, and it's like, holy
very humble, right?
Shit, man, you've got some killer animals. I mean, his coastals are just stunning. The Argentine boas he's got an army of them that are amazing. The Longicauda, the Tamaulipas cloud forest, the San Isidros, he makes me want bull snakes so bad. Like all of this stuff is just phenomenal.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cool shit.
There's my positive plug.
Cool.
There we go. Nice.
I've thought of
giving you a lot of time to think, Lucas.
Yeah. No, I used the time. I have two.
Two.
So
fucking overachiever here.
All right, fine. You don't want me to do two?
Yeah, you're only half
less
the carpet.
positive?
You're only half of a carpet python guy. Remember that.
Enter
number 2.
I guess Eric did compliment me, so somebody needs to curb stomp me down now. We got to balance it out. Okay, first
I'm back.
Oh, he's backing me. First up, I'll shout out Casey Schultz, Zion Hill Exotics, because she just published a magazine article on some sailfin taxonomy, and talk about focusing on a species that not a lot of people are focused on, or I guess species plural. That's the point of the write-up. So awesome. Super stoked for Casey, and I can't wait to read that. And then second one, shout out Brett Bender for hatching out his 3 Kimberly rocks. That's pretty awesome.
Brett's a cool dude.
He's been working at those for a minute.
Yeah, I think he had some issues with eggs, so I'm just so stoked that he got some, and couldn't have happened to a better dude. I love talking to Brett.
And then we should clarify the magazine articles coming out in Reptiles magazine.
Got it. Yes.
So in case anybody was wondering if we're talking about Herpetoculture magazine, she did a write-up for them too. If I'm
She did
not
Womas
mistaken.
for them, I think. If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
But yeah, the Philippine thing is, as you stated, a very overlooked species that could very easily be lost to herpetoculture very soon because we can't export animals from their home range anymore. And unfortunately, a lot of people have crossed some of these species, and so the very limited gene pool that's out there is largely related, and some of it impure. And yeah, like you can't get Philippine sailfin dragons anymore.
Right.
So
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Well said. Well deserved.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when you start going down these different rabbit holes of, different reptiles and stuff. Like I'm like researching the Ackies when we're talking to Mike tomorrow. But yeah, there's possibly 3 subspecies. Who knows? Some people say it's bullshit. I'm like, oh, this sounds familiar.
Yeah. 100%.
There's a yellow and a red, but there's a top end, and this one and that one, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, fair enough, okay. So
yeah,
but cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should we wrap it up, or what do you think?
Sounds good.
Pretty good. End on the positive note like that.
Yeah. It's a good way to close out a show.
I dig it.
All right. I'll say my piece, and then you guys can do your thing, and we can go from there. Tomorrow, if you're watching this now, tomorrow, I think it's 3 Central, 4 Eastern. I guess that would be what 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock your time, 1 o'clock, right? 1 o'clock Pacific.
What time Eastern did you say?
4.
4. So then 1. Yeah.
1. Okay. We're going to be talking to Mike Stefani from Mike's Monitors. What an awesome guy. I love that guy.
Sasquatch himself.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but like, holy shit, he looks like Harry and the Hendersons for sure. When he does that thing,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he is the monitor. Like, I don't know, man. He's got magic going on over at his place, but he's just popping out monitors like crazy. Some amazing stuff he has, but we're going to be specifically talking to him about Ackies and Kimberly Rocks. So that is not because they're the 2 I'm keeping, but it just so happens that is the case. But I think they're probably the most popular dwarf monitors, and I think there's a lot of crossover or no what's the word? Hesitation from snake people to sort of take the plunge into the monitor world, if you will. And I think those 2 are probably a good way to do it. So, so USARC, check them out, usarc.org, MoreliaPythonRadio.com. And if you want to drop us an email, info@MoreliaPythonRadio, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube, the NPR network right here. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. That's all I got.
Sweet.
And don't forget the Patreon. And Teespring.
Swag. Teespring.
Yeah. All that. All the above.
Which, by the way, Riley, I didn't share the picture with you of the pictures my sisters are doing of some art of roughies and such. They look pretty good. So
nice.
I'll share them too.
I can't wait. That'll be sweet.
So we'll be over there in the Teespring store. So cool.
Nice.
Sorry.
Cool.
Go ahead.
No, it's all good. That's all good news. You can just find me at Riley's Reptiles on pretty much everything. That's it.
For me, Centralian Exotics on all the things. Hopefully Bertle's hatching out soon. And, after a little bit of time, they'll be looking for their homes. Also, I was on the Animals at Home podcast recently. I think that'll be out in a week or 2. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And check out that Blackhead episode. Yeah, it was a good time. But thanks, guys. Good times.
Yeah. Cool.
Always.
Everybody have an excellent weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Woo!
See ya.
Later.
Bye.